In a kingdom woven from moonlight and whispers, where golden trees reached for a sky of pale lavender, lived a kind young prince named Alara, and a gentle princess named Liam. Their home was a forest that glowed with a soft, inner light, where shimmering fireflies danced like fallen stars and the air hummed with a quiet magic. The prince's heart was as open as the wide, starlit sky, and the princess's touch was as soft as the moss that carpeted the forest floor. They spent their days wandering hand in hand through paths of glowing petals, their laughter echoing like the gentle chime of a distant bell. Their world was one of peace, of shared smiles and silent understanding, a perfect harmony between two kindred souls and the enchanted land they called home. One evening, as the moon cast its silvery glow upon the land, turning the dewdrops on the leaves into tiny, shimmering pearls, they heard a faint sound. It was a soft whimper, a delicate cry carried on the gentle breeze, hiding beneath the rustle of moonlit leaves. Drawn by curiosity and a shared sense of compassion, they followed the sound to the base of an ancient, whispering willow. There, huddled beneath its drooping branches, was a small fox, no bigger than a whisper. Its fur was the color of spun silver, catching the moonlight in a way that seemed almost magical. One of its tiny paws was hurt, and its large, dark eyes were filled with a mixture of fear and pain. It shivered, not from the cold of the night, but from the loneliness of its plight. Without a word, the princess knelt down, her movements slow and deliberate so as not to startle the creature. She reached out a hand, her palm open in a gesture of peace. The little fox watched her, its gaze unwavering. The prince joined her, his presence a calm and reassuring shadow. He spoke in a voice as soft as the fog that rolled over the forest floor. "Don't be afraid, little one. We mean you no harm." The princess gently scooped the fox into her arms, wrapping it in a fold of her soft velvet cloak. The fox, feeling the warmth and kindness, relaxed slightly, its trembling subsiding into a quiet stillness. They carried it back to their castle, a structure that seemed to grow from the forest itself, its towers reaching towards the heavens like the branches of the great golden trees. Inside, in a room lit by the soft glow of lanterns, they tended to the little fox's wound. The princess cleaned the injury with water infused with healing herbs from the forest, her touch as light as a butterfly's wing. The prince bound the paw with a strip of soft silk, his fingers moving with practiced care. They offered it a bowl of fresh milk and a few wild berries, which it ate with a delicate appetite. As the night deepened, they made a small bed for it by the hearth, a nest of soft blankets and downy pillows. The little fox, now named Sylvan, curled up, its silver fur glowing faintly in the firelight. The prince and princess sat beside it, watching its gentle breathing. A silent promise passing between them, they would protect this small, magical creature. Days turned into a gentle rhythm of care and companionship. Sylvan's paw healed quickly under their tender watch. They would take him on walks through the glowing forest, his silver form a bright speck against the baby green moss. He would chase the floating, glowing petals that drifted on the air and pounce playfully at the shimmering fireflies. He learned to trust them completely, nuzzling against their hands and letting out happy little yip. The prince would read stories to him, his voice a calm murmur, while the princess would hum soft lullabies, her tunes weaving through the air like threads of spun gold. A beautiful friendship blossomed, a bond forged not of words but of kindness, empathy, and shared moments of quiet joy. They were no longer just a prince and a princess. They were a family of three, their hearts connected by an invisible, unbreakable thread. One morning, Sylvan seemed different. He looked towards the deepest part of the forest, his ears perked, a look of longing in his eyes. The prince and princess understood. It was time. Though their hearts felt a pang of sadness, they knew they had to help their friend find his way home. They followed Sylvan as he led them on a path they had never walked before, deeper into the forest where the light grew softer and the air felt thick with ancient magic. The trees here were older, their bark covered in intricate, glowing patterns, and the silence was profound, broken only by the soft padding of their feet. They walked until they reached a clearing, a perfect circle bathed in the softest moonlight, where a pool of water shimmered like liquid silver. As they stepped into the clearing, Sylvan began to change. His silver fur glowed with an intense, beautiful light. He grew larger, his form shifting and reshaping until he was no longer a small fox, but a magnificent, ethereal guardian of the forest. The moonlight seemed to pour into him, and as it did, it transformed into shimmering, dreamlike particles that floated up into the air. Sylvan, the magical guardian, turned to them, his eyes filled with an ancient wisdom and profound gratitude. He explained not in words, but in a wave of understanding that washed over their minds, that his duty was to guard this sacred place and turn the pure essence of moonlight into dreams for all the creatures of the kingdom. He had been injured by a falling star, and their kindness had saved him. As a gift of gratitude, Sylvan dipped his snout into the moonlit pool. He drew out a single, perfect drop of liquid light on the tip of his nose and offered it to them. As they reached out to touch it, the drop expanded, enveloping them in a warm, gentle glow. They were shown visions of endless peace, of a kingdom forever bathed in gentle light, of a friendship that would span across lifetimes. The magic settled into their hearts, a permanent piece of the forest's soul. They felt a sense of peace so deep it felt like coming home. They understood that kindness is its own magic, a force that connects all living things, from the grandest prince to the smallest fox. It was a truth as pure and as beautiful as the moonlight itself. With a final, loving nuzzle, Sylvan turned and dissolved into a shower of glowing particles, becoming one with the forest and the moonlight. The prince and princess stood in the clearing, hand in hand, their hearts full of a sweet, nostalgic sorrow and an overwhelming sense of hope. They knew Sylvan was not gone, but was all around them in the gentle rustle of the leaves, the shimmer of the fireflies, and the soft glow of the moon. They returned to their castle, carrying the forest's magic within them. And every night, when they looked out at the moonlit sky, they would see the dreams. Sylvan was weaving a gentle reminder of their little silver friend, and the profound truth that the greatest magic of all is found in a kind and open heart. Their fairy tale had found its ending, not in a grand celebration, but in a quiet, peaceful understanding that would echo through their kingdom for all time. And so, in a land woven from moonlight and whispers, peace reigned, love flourished, and dreams were born from the light of a single, grateful star. Thank you so much for watching. We hope this story brought a little peace and magic to your day. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more heartwarming tales. Until next time, may your dreams be as bright as the moonlight.